Hello! If you hear something in the background, that is my aircon. It is pretty loud, and I am also going to try to speak loudly and project because my camera unfortunately does not have a mic plug-in, so I can't be like... So hopefully I'm speaking loud enough that you can hear me, but also I'm not straining my voice. I've tried to film this little intro a few times, but I feel like I've been getting carried away just yapping. So just to sum it up, last week I forced myself to kind of sit down and film a chit chat video, life update video, just because I haven't been posting on YouTube for a while. Like, I will go weeks without posting on YouTube, and I want to post on YouTube. It's just, you know, life happens and stuff. So I sat myself down last week and I ended up with about 40 minutes of footage unedited, and in the process of editing that video came what I'm about to share with you right now. This is a more structured reflection that came, just an idea that came to me as I had closed the video editor last week and ready to shut my laptop down, and it was just like so I was typing. But this is called Deconstruction Is Destabilizing, and it's scary. I was editing a video I had filmed earlier, and when I closed the editor, the idea for this post found me. The video I filmed was about a 40-minute sit-down yap session think aloud, a kind of piece I haven't filmed in a while. Most of my recent YouTube posts are read-alouds of my Substack reflections. I had only edited about 10 minutes, 1/4 of the whole thing, and nothing is official yet, but in the editor I titled this one Existential Crises and Transition Phases. My 20s, job, career, purpose, mental health. And it wasn't until I closed the editor that it hit me. In the 40 minutes I'm yapping, I'm basically trying to explain navigating uncertainty and feeling lost in building a life for myself while deconstructing my inherited beliefs and programming. Deconstruction being tower moment after tower moment, and I haven't been coming out the chariot. Or at least not in the ways I'd like to, because I still have my small wins every day. Whether it's having my morning and night tea, getting in a good workout, doing my makeup, feeling beautiful without makeup, talking to a friend, or playing with GarageBand and Logic. And I guess it's these small wins that eventually will add up and lead to the big wins. And now that's just me thinking aloud via digital journaling. I've mentioned this before, and I'm still trying to heal and work through the shame of sharing it, but I haven't been the best with money and personal finances. I still live at home and I'm dependent on my parents, paying rent with my emotional and mental health. For basically my whole life, I've been materially and financially provided for, but emotionally unsupported. And there's a lot of shame in talking about that experience too. Feeling invalidated because, at the very least, my basic needs are met. I don't have an allowance, and honestly, I'm too proud and full of shame to even ask for help and guidance. I've run out my savings before admitting I needed help, and in the rare cases I have brought it up, I've mainly been met with even more shame and lectures. I started a new job recently, and that was the central topic of my 40-minute yap session. A container job, to make some money and get experience as I navigate what's next. It hasn't been what I thought it would be though, mainly because of leadership. The role itself is no big deal, but management is its own story. It's just very different and new, at least that's what I tell my nervous system, compared to my previous work experiences. There's been a lot of uncertainty and super short notices within the past weeks of getting started. It's a new restaurant, so everyone was hired and going through training all at the same time. Recently, I had an anxiety attack because of the short noticeness of the schedule being shared the night before or even morning of. It's things like this, experiences my body immediately flags as bad, that I start to think maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Should I give the corporate route another go? Create a new LinkedIn account? Even though I officially unlinked, permanently deleted LinkedIn last year. Or maybe I should go back to school like my friends. knowing damn well the rigidity of higher education is unfit for me. What the fuck are my options? Options that will bring in good money but also won't drain the life out of me. And the latter is very important to me because when I reflect on the history of my mental health. During our latest session, my therapist asked me, what are your plans? Do you plan to move out? And what are your career goals? I told her, I don't know. It was only within the past year or so that I consciously made the decision and told the universe, if I'm going to do this life thing, I want to live my life. My way. I actually want to live and I want to feel alive. I don't know exactly what my way looks like, but I do know that I don't want to be depressed and numbed out. Obviously, money is important, but I don't want to be only materially and financially centered, yet unfulfilled and purposeless. I don't want to do things because that's just the way things are. That's life. Following a script that isn't mine. I want to feel alive. And I want a life full of creativity and art. I did the artist way a few months ago because I had no creative outlet, and I learned that I want to learn to make music. No, I don't plan on working in a restaurant forever. Ooh! That was my printer. No, I don't plan on working in a restaurant forever. I've just been taking it day by day, one step at a time, one breath at a time, while deconstructing all the inherited beliefs that don't align with me, the person I want to be, and the life I want to live. Something like that is what I told her. There was heaviness and a lot of shame in those first 3 words. Probably because there's this expectation that, regardless of age, we're all just supposed to know what's next in our lives, to always have something lined up. I almost didn't say anything after, I don't know. But I remembered this was my therapist, and if she doesn't understand, then so be it. I really have felt, though, what is the point in life if I don't feel alive? And maybe that's why I refuse to put myself in environments that would drain me, even if they pay well. And I acknowledge what a privilege that is. But health is wealth, and I don't want to end up with some kind of irreversible sickness. I see that happening in my own family, even when they don't think I notice. If you are able to center yourself, to prioritize your joy and your health, please do that. Pour into yourself and allow others to benefit from the overflow. But this whole deconstructing thing is very challenging, especially with tight finances. Because at the end of the day, I live on Earth, a material world. Sometimes I don't know where to pivot next. It really scares me that my options might be so limited that for a while, or a long time, I'll have to sacrifice my joy, creativity, and aliveness for something that's more financially stable. And I'm scared that if it ever has to come to that, I'll lose myself again and become a miserable person who believes I'm without any agency and projects my limiting beliefs onto others. It's important to plan for the future and later, but also tomorrow is never guaranteed. I feel like most of the deconstruction stories I've read about and listened to have been from people in their 40s or later, people who've made a career and earned all the titles and promotions, or people who left their 6-figure jobs after a few years, who have enough money saved up. But where are the stories from people who are in the middle of it? Or in the beginning? Because I feel like my life is just beginning. People who don't have the answers yet. People who are deconstructing before they've built the things they're supposedly meant to deconstruct. That's where I am right now, at 24 years old. And I try so much to decenter time and not focus on my age, because age is literally just a number on how many revolutions the earth has completed around the sun in your lifetime. But that's a whole other existential crisis. See, this is exactly how my brain works. Many times I feel behind. I wonder if choosing aliveness over certainty is irresponsible, but I also know I can't unknow what I've learned about myself. I can't go back to wanting a life that looks good on paper but doesn't feel good to live. So, for now, I'm taking it day by day. making tea, going to therapy, trying new things, experimenting with creativity, playing with GarageBand, singing in the shower, working a container job, having these existential crises. This is just another chapter of my life, and one that I'll revisit with a different perspective someday. And that is Deconstruction Is Destabilizing. Yeah, just like, you know, everything that you thought you knew, just letting those illusions fall, those walls fall, these tower moments happen. Let these tower moments happen, and just looking at everything that you knew and you believed and what you still agreed with, and how you want to move forward, what you're gonna keep with you, or new ideas to adopt as you let old beliefs go. New beliefs to adopt as you let old beliefs go that are unfit for you, the person you want to be, and the life you want to live. Also, I quit my job yesterday through text. I just had enough with management, and yeah. So I'm back to being unemployed, looking for another job, looking for a new job. And yeah, just like what I said in what I wrote, sometimes, you know, in this process of like looking for a new job, and specifically in like retail, service, hospitality, like not corporate jobs, because back then I was like, F corporate, this is not for me, I don't like corporate. But you know, now in this process of looking for jobs outside of corporate, or even having a job outside of corporate and awful management, like sometimes I was like, maybe corporate's not so bad, maybe I should go back to school, that's what all my friends are doing. Just really trying to find my own way and find my path, and I have a clearer picture now of what I'd like to do and the kind of life I want to live, like the bigger picture. But it really is just taking it day by day with those smaller steps and continuing to show up for myself. And if that looks like trying a whole bunch of things and hopping job to job so be it. At least I'm learning and getting experience, and I feel like I have a better understanding of the world around me too. Yeah, also I never finished editing that video that I filmed and started editing last week. Like, I had edited 10 minutes of it before I went to sleep, and then when I closed the editor and closed my laptop, this is what came to me, and I just kept writing and writing. I do this thing where I like write and then I like leave it for a few days, because I guess I have to just the next time I come back to it, it has to look a little fresh to me. But then I spend more time like overthinking if I'm getting my point across, or it just needs a ton of revisions and changes and stuff. So I started writing this last week, and I finished this like last night I looked at it and I'm like, this is the last time I'm ever gonna change this up, because it just has to get posted, or else I'm just gonna spiral and never post this. So, and it's not just this, that's just like my process for everything that I post. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to editing the video I filmed last week. If it weren't for that little yap session, like that sit down film session, and I started to edit, I would not have come up with this. And I've also kind of been stressing about like not just what I'm gonna post on YouTube, but also on Substack. So this wouldn't exist without last week's yap session. So I feel like everything I wanted to say was kind of in this post and what I read. So I'd love to know if you relate, or if you don't relate, just, I don't know, just let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. I'll see you all in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, save, share, repost. Take care. Bye.